Listen, family, let me tell you something. If you want to level up your life, you've got to level up your communication. Why? Because everything you have in life right now is a direct result of how well or how poorly you've been communicating with yourself, with others, and with God. Communication is not just about talking. It's about connection. It's about clarity. Yeah, it's about creating a bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Listen, family, if you want to go higher, you've got to talk higher. If you want to see more, you've got to say more. Communication creates elevation. The level of your life will never rise above the level of your language. You can pray for more, you can work harder for more, but until you start speaking from a higher place, you will stay in the same place. Think about this. Words are like an elevator. They either take you up or they take you down. Every sentence you speak is either building a ladder to your destiny or digging a hole to your disappointment. That means the first place you need to master communication is not with other people, it's with yourself. The most important conversation you will ever have is the one you have with the person in the mirror. When you tell yourself you can't, you create a reality where you won't. But when you tell yourself you can, you activate possibilities that were waiting on your permission. Here's the hook. Your mouth is a magnet. It pulls into your life whatever you consistently speak about. If you talk problems, you attract more problems. If you talk possibilities, you attract more opportunities. People say, well, Myron, that's just positive thinking. No, it's not. It's powerful communication. The words you speak are seeds, and the harvest you reap depends on what you plant. If you don't like the crop you're harvesting, change the seed you're sowing. Most people are trying to change their circumstances without changing their sentences. They think if they grind harder, hustle longer, stay busier, eventually life will change. But I came to tell you, activity does not equal elevation. You can run fast in the wrong direction and still end up lost. Elevation comes when you align your words with where you want to go, not where you've been. Let me make it plain. If you want to level up financially, stop saying I'm broke. Stop saying I can't afford that and start saying I'm learning how to manage money better, or I'm creating value that attracts more income. If you want to level up in relationships, stop saying nobody loves me and start saying I am becoming the kind of person that draws healthy, loving connections. If you want to level up spiritually, stop saying I don't know what to do and start declaring I have wisdom, I have guidance. And I am led by purpose. And here's the part most people miss. Communication is not just about the words you speak, it's about the energy you speak them with. If you say the right words with the wrong energy, they lose their power. People can feel when your communication is congruent and when it's just lip service. So when you speak about your future, speak with passion, with conviction, with certainty. Don't just say it, sell it first to yourself and then to the world. Remember, this communication is not just a tool, it's a trigger. It triggers confidence, it triggers action, it triggers faith. The better you communicate, the faster you can activate the resources, relationships, and opportunities that will take you to the next level. That's why communication creates elevation, because when you master your message, you master your movement. So decide today that every word you speak from this point forward will be a step up, not a step back. Speak like someone who is going somewhere. Speak like someone who refuses to stay where they are. Speak like someone whose life is rising. Let me drop this on you. Words are wealth. The words you speak are not cheap. They are currency. Every time you open your mouth, you are making a deposit into the bank of your future or writing a check your life will have to cash later. If you want to create a rich life, you've got to start speaking rich words. I'm not just talking about money. I'm talking about abundance, abundant health, abundant joy, abundant peace, abundant opportunities. Here's the hook. Your mouth is a money machine. It either prints prosperity or produces poverty. If you constantly speak lack, you are programming your mind to operate from scarcity. But if you speak abundance, you train your mind to look for opportunities, to attract resources, to expect increase. Now, most people don't realize that their conversation is keeping them poor. They talk about what they don't have, what they can't do, who won't help them, and they wonder why their life never changes. Think about it. Wealthy people communicate differently. They don't say, I can't afford it. They say, how can I afford it? They don't say, I can't do this. They say, who can help me do this? That one shift in language moves them from a position of helplessness to a position of possibility. Words are not just sounds, they are signals. They send instructions to your brain, to your emotions, and to the people around you about what to create next. Most folks underestimate the compound interest of their words. A single negative phrase might not seem like much, but when you repeat it day after day, it compounds into a belief. That belief turns into a behavior, and that behavior produces a result, and now your life is stuck in a cycle you accidentally spoke into existence. The same is true for positive words. When you speak words of faith, words of gratitude, words of vision, they begin to stack on top of each other until they form a foundation strong enough to hold your future. Let me make it real practical. When you wake up in the morning, what do you say about your day? Do you say, it's Monday, I hate this job? Or do you say, today is another opportunity to get closer to my goals? One of those phrases costs you energy and focus. The other one pays you energy and focus. Words are transactions. You are either buying excuses or you are buying results. Here's another hook. Broke language creates a broke life. Prosperous language creates a prosperous life. You cannot curse your life with your lips and expect to bless it with your results. Your words and your world must agree. So if you want to see something different, you have to say something different. Start calling things that are not as though they were. Speak about the business you are building before it exists. Speak about the health you are achieving before the weight is gone. Speak about the marriage you desire before it shows up. And don't just speak it once. Consistency creates currency. Speak it every day until your mind believes it, your actions match it, and your results reveal it. Remember, words are not free, they are investments. Every time you speak, you are either funding your future or financing your failure. So choose wisely because your vocabulary is your value. If you want to increase your value, upgrade your vocabulary. Talk like a person of destiny. Talk like a person who expects increase. Talk like a person who knows that every word is building a life worth living. Family, hear me on this. Your value is your voice. The way you communicate your value determines how the world rewards you. People are not just paying you for what you do. They are paying you for the way you make them feel, the way you solve their problems, the way you present the solution you bring. If you don't know how to communicate your value, people will always underestimate it, and when they underestimate it, they will underpay. Here's the hook. The market does not pay you what you're worth. The market pays you what you can communicate your worth. You can be the best coach, consultant, business owner, or employee in the world, but if nobody understands the value you bring, you will stay invisible. Invisible value gets invisible pay. The moment you learn how to clearly and confidently communicate what you bring to the table. Everything changes, your income changes, your opportunities change, and even the level of respect people give you changes. Most people think their problem is that they don't have enough talent, enough education, enough experience. No, the real problem is they don't have enough clarity. They can't articulate what makes them valuable in a way that other people immediately get it. And when people don't get it, they don't buy it. You have to stop assuming that others can just see your value. They can't read your mind. You have to learn to put your value into words so compelling that people see it, feel it, and want to pay for it. Think about it. Have you ever seen someone less qualified than you get the job, the contract, or the client you wanted, and you thought, I could do that so much better than them? The difference wasn't skill, it was speech. They communicated their value better than you did, and that's why they got the reward. Value unspoken is value unseen, and value unseen is value unpaid. Here's another hook. Every time you open your mouth, you are either discounting or increasing your value. If you talk in a way that sounds unsure, apologetic, or hesitant, you discount yourself before you even get started. But when you speak with certainty, authority, and conviction, you elevate your perceived value instantly. People don't just buy what you offer. They buy your confidence in what you offer. You also have to understand that your value is not just about the product or service you sell, it's about the transformation you provide. Stop selling hours and start selling outcomes. Stop selling features and start selling futures. People don't pay for your time, they pay for the result your time produces. And your voice is the bridge that helps them see that result before they experience it. The more clearly you paint the picture of the transformation they will get, the more willing they will be to pay a premium for it. And here's the powerful part. When you communicate your value effectively, you attract people who respect that value. You no longer have to chase clients, opportunities, or recognition. You start pulling them towards you because clear communication creates magnetism. People are drawn to clarity. People invest in confidence. People reward those who can clearly express how they solve a problem. So decide today that you will no longer hide your value behind weak words. Stop playing small with your voice. Speak like someone who knows what they bring to the table. Speak like someone who knows their worth and refuses to negotiate with mediocrity. The moment you find your voice and use it to communicate your value with power and precision, you step into a new level of income, impact, and influence that was waiting for you all along. Lean in on this one. Conversation creates transformation. Your life will always move in the direction of your most dominant conversation. Them. The words you repeat the most become the reality you experience the most. Most people are waiting for their situation to change before they change their conversation, but that's backwards. You have to change the conversation first because your conversation is the thermostat that sets the temperature of your life. Here's the hook. Transformation doesn't start with action. It starts with articulation. You can't live a new life while talking like the old you. Every time you speak, you are reinforcing an identity. If you keep saying, I'm just trying to get by, you reinforce the identity of a struggler. If you keep saying, I never catch a break, you reinforce the identity of someone who's unlucky, and your brain will work overtime to make sure your reality matches the identity you keep speaking. But when you shift your conversation and start saying, I'm blessed, I'm capable, I'm favored, I'm wise, your brain starts finding evidence to match that new identity, and your actions line up with your words. This is why affirmations work, not because they are magic, but because they are mechanics. When you speak something over and over, you build a new neural pathway in your brain that makes that outcome easier to believe and easier to achieve. Your conversation literally rewires your mind. And when your mind is rewired, your life gets rewired. That's transformation. Think about the conversations you have every day with yourself, with your family, with your coworkers, with your friends. Are those conversations lifting you or limiting you? Are they full of vision or full of excuses? You can't keep having broke conversations and expect to live a wealthy life. You can't keep having negative conversations and expect to live a positive life. Your circle, your self-talk, and your speech must all come into alignment with the future you desire. Here's another hook. What you talk about, you bring about. If you talk fear, you create more fear. If you talk fate, you create more courage. If you talk defeat, you create more loss. If you talk victory, you create more wins. You are literally scripting the story of your life with every conversation you have. So the question is, are you scripting a drama or a destiny? You also need to have conversations that challenge you. Transformation doesn't come from easy talk. It comes from honest talk. Get around people who will speak life to you, but also speak truth to you. The right conversation at the right time can completely shift the trajectory of your life. One powerful question from a mentor, one bold word of encouragement from a friend, and one inspiring message you hear on a tough day can wake something up inside you that changes everything. But don't just wait for those conversations. Initiate them. Seek out people who are where you want to be and start asking them questions. Start talking about where you're going, not just where you are. Speak about the future as if it is already unfolding, because when you speak that way, you give your mind and your spirit something to grow into. Remember, your life is a reflection of your conversation. If you don't like your life, change your language. Talk higher, talk bigger, talk better. Have conversations that build faith, conversations that build courage, conversations that build strategy. Because the moment your conversation changes, your transformation begins. And once transformation begins, nothing can keep you from rising. So here's my challenge for you today. Pay attention to every word that comes out of your mouth for the next 24 hours. Speak only words that build, that bless, that inspire. Level up your communication and you will level up your life because your mouth is the pen. Yeah. And your future is the paper. Write something worth living. And as I always say, success is not something you pursue. It's something you attract by the person you become. So go become the kind of communicator who attracts the life you desire. Let's go get it.